Hey, what's up guys? So I'm coming to you another video again so I can just keep on, going on with this. I just want to do a quick video before I head out and everything. So this video is talking about capitalism, so let's just get into it. But first, of course, if you're new to my channel, what is up? My name is Mitch, Mitch. Hey Mitch, all the Mitches, and pretty much I like talking about what I talk about. So current events, reviews, and pop culture within the scope of entertainment, culture, and purpose. So TV movie reviews, social political commentary. Be sure to check out all those videos as you're finishing this video. Also, real quick, I'll just plug my other channel, Hey Mitch. That's where I do more of my reviews on movies and TV. So I just did a quick review on The Craft. I finally uploaded it, and so check it out, especially if you want to talk about how woke it is and everything, so be sure to check that out. Going into this video, I want to do something super simple. I saw it on my subscriptions and all stuff, so this is coming from the Lucky Boys podcast, and they talk about like various topics, and I think it's more centrist in a way, because they do have people from the left, and I see sometimes they do people on the right. So this one is talking about capitalism is the root of all evil. Going off of my previous video on AOC, I'm gonna play the AOC card and say I'm no expert on this. But what I want to do, okay, so on the surface, let's just go out of the way. I haven't heard this, and again, I'm not attacking the people, I'm just attacking what their comments are. And again, it's nothing bad. Maybe they can change their mind. Maybe they didn't deliver it as well as they did. But we'll just go with the statements they they address, right? And then for me, just really off the bat, I don't think if they're going to go on capitalism, because I read into things about Marxism, right? And in that case, it was about Marxism was a critique on capitalism, right? And it's about the proletariat versus the bourgeoisie, and and so in this case, okay, so let's back it down. So I disagree with the premise. So capitalism is not the root of all evil. You can say that greed is. Money is, but even in itself, money is just a tool. It's just an exchange. It is the greed of humans, You could be like a very benevolent capitalist, You can use all your money to help other people, right? So capitalism, in my mind, it's the greed factor, my money could go up. I could play bingo, and I can win $1,200. And that has happened, right? And so I could be like, okay, well, I have $1,200 on me, so maybe I can bump up my money. And so that's where the gambling and the greed comes in, because I could just waste my $1,200, or I could bump it up. So in some cases, I went up to $2,000. So that's just one instance, right? And so that one instance of me getting $2,000 one night, I think every night it's gonna happen like that, and of course it doesn't. And so I have to watch out myself that I don't go into debt, I have to be careful, so that it is self-destructive, but also if I could just stop at wherever I'm at, that's good, I'm telling I live in Vegas, y'all. I go to the casinos. Okay. Alright, so with that said, we'll just go into the video, and again, they're just going to have a debate, whatever, talk, and it's a short video, so we'll just go into it, talk about it some more, so go at it.
Lucky Boys Podcast.
You talked about something where you said capitalism is the root of all evil.
Yes.
Why do you think that?
You are in a capitalist society, and you are working for a corporation.
I am, but I think a lot of the issues that we have in society, from a general standpoint, not me as an individual, but capitalism, I would say, is the root of all evil, because the people who hold power are the people who hold capital, and everyone else is working class, or you're working to.
They're employees. They're not owners.
Yeah. What do you mean?
Well, you're saying that the people at top.
Okay, so she's going with a Marxist mentality, so in this part, this is where people, this is the gateway, right? You're oh yeah, you know what? Yeah, you're right. The people who are the owners are the ones who are making a lot of money, and the employees have little nothing, and so there is okay, so pause. Also, I can probably think people are this girl doesn't know what I'm talking about. I'm gonna say I don't know what I'm talking about, but whatever. But I lost my train of thought. So what I was remembering now is that the people who are, and I guess if you're inherited money, that's something else, but the people who grind for the money are like industrialists, you know, like they work day in, day out for the money. They're constantly thinking how to churn their money in investments and all that stuff. And so it's not one thing in which, you know, you don't do anything for your money. But I guess, well, let's continue. We'll see what they say.
I equate that as more of like, oh, people who are landowners, they own things, you know, while the people below, they're working 9 to 5.
Yeah.
They're employees.
So I think the key difference is the people who have capital, they don't necessarily need to work for their money. The money works for them. And then the people who are like employees, you have to work 9 to 5 or whatever to survive.
You think capitalism is the root of all evil because the people holding the power are dictating in all the wrong directions in their self-interest, even though it's hurting other people?
I think those who hold power obviously want to keep their power, and they use oppression or capitalism as a means to oppress people. So a lot of people have to work 9 to 5 or to live, right? You can't, like in our society, or at least in America, if you don't work 9 to 5 and you're not a person who has a lot of like land or capital or things like that can make you money, then you
Okay, can I just pause? I'll continue it. But it's funny, like, Temple mentioned this, and I agree. Like, even if you're a homeowner, you know, like, let's say you invest all your money in housing, right? That still takes a lot of work and management, you know? It's not like, oh, like, I just have money just coming in. A part of it is, right? But you, as a homeowner, you need to take care of your businesses, right? You have to make sure, like, what if there is a leak or a natural disaster, and then your investment goes down the drain. So you do have to take, there's actual work that you have to do. Even if you're a business, right? Like, and you do commercial, like, if that business is not doing anything, if you're leasing the stuff, you know, you need to get that money back. And obviously if there's like damages, you have to put the money in. So basically, like, so she doesn't say the word Marxism, right? But there is still levels in which she's talking about oppression and the people in power. And that's always been a Marxist idea in which there's hierarchies and those in power and the wage inequality and all this stuff. And so we'll continue, but I can hear things, what her mentality is, that again, like, if you have capital, you have power, that means you are oppressing other people. Like, I think, yeah, okay, we'll continue, and then I think I'll continue my thoughts.
you have to work, right? You're forced to do certain things that you might not want to do. And is that true freedom? No, because you are bound by the terms contractually to your employer to do like these things from 9 to 5 that might not be in your best self-interest. And then, like, aside from that, there's also like a lot of social inequality or income inequality, which leads to like education inequality.
I didn't even need to say it. She said income inequality.
Tied back to capitalism and a lot of like healthcare issues is because of capitalism. You're running hospitals like a business. You're doing like all of these things for the sake of money. And for a lot of people who are struggling, like let's say you're working class, you're working at McDonald's, you're making like a minimum wage, you're barely getting by, you don't have time to question society or things like that, or these issues. And that's a privilege that I understand, that I have and I hold. And I think by not allowing certain people to have that ability to critically think, that education, you're not allowing them to make the decisions that are best for them. And I think that kind of ties into why people want easy answers, or like, not to politicize it, but like want those people who claim that they can make things easier for these people who are suffering. But I think ultimately everyone in power, or like the government's also beholden to a lot of these huge corporations, and they have to make them happy some way, you know? So it's like, yo, you give me a little bit something, I'll give you a little something. They make those like tax breaks and things like that.
Or they lobby for their own interests.
Yeah.
And because they gave that money, now you kind of have to scratch their back in return. So you think that leads to a lot, you think that's the root of all our suffering, human suffering?
Most. I want to say all, but I would say most of like things like income inequality, like access to education, healthcare, things that I really do care about, and I think it should be accessible for everyone. Everyone should have the opportunity and a right to healthcare and education.
Okay. Like she doesn't say it, but a lot of her things is a very liberal stances, which is fine. I mean, it's a problem because when you say 2A, you know, when you have the right to bear arms, it's not the government giving you a gun, you know? Just because you have healthcare should not be a right. Actually, it's because it's a service, right? So you can say the government doesn't necessarily have to give you healthcare, but it shouldn't hinder your access to healthcare. And so there's stuff that she is throwing in there, right? So again, she's throwing things in there, kind of like the whole bailouts. She didn't really say bailouts, but the whole like scratch your back, scratch my back type thing when it comes to the bigger corporations and lobbying and all this stuff. And you know what? Yeah, sure, I can agree to that to a certain degree that there are problematics when it comes to bailouts and all this stuff, or lobbying, or corporations just backing the political candidate. And there is some issues that we can take with that. But I think when it comes to like general capitalism in itself, well, yes, the basis of capitalism is exploitation, and I say that in a good, but but I say that funny because you have to. I wouldn't say disadvantage, but there are goods and services, and it's consensual, right? When it's like capitalism, in which if I develop this product, right? And this product, like let's say origami, and by making this origami crane that people want to have for whatever reason, and it costs me $2 to make, right? Buying the paper and my labor, $2, whatever. And I sell it for $4, right? And then you're willing to buy it at $4, right? So I have $2 gain from this, so I can invest that $2 for myself, and then two more dollars to buy the product and to create the product again. And so like maybe in that basic level, like she's like, okay, that's cool, but like maybe I think her problem is when you have so much capital, you know, and this is a problem with a lot of people, like very socialist mentality, is that there should not be rich people, right? And there is a level in which you have too much money. As someone who is like a capitalist, like I don't see that as a problem. Well, I could see it as a problem, I guess, but like I only don't take issue with that because I would want to be in that situation in which I have so much money that I don't have to worry about anything, right? I want to be in that situation. And so therefore, yes, I do have a job that I have to adhere to, right? That 9-to-5 job. But me being on YouTube is my extra grind, you know? And YouTube is like any YouTuber can attest how hard it is to be a YouTuber, right? Because, you know, I have to edit, I have to film, I have to record, I have to do this, I have to do the graphics, I have to do, especially just myself. I don't have a team on me, right? I have like this 5-man team all by myself. And like, especially beginning YouTubers have the same problems or dilemmas or situations in which they have to do the same thing. So I'm willing to work this grind. So her premise of like, okay, you know, you're stuck in this continual cycle. Well, that's why you have to break out of it. And in America, in a capitalist society, you have a better situation. My parents didn't leave the Philippines for like the same grind. They did it so that I can have a better life. For me, my sister, and hopefully my kids, if that ever happens, that will be the same case, you know? So I don't know. I'm just kind of ranting. So I see where she goes at, right? And Jordan Peterson goes into why is Marxism so attractive, right? And I'll probably link it below, maybe, hopefully. But it's just this level in which you are not given what you're owed, and you can elaborate that. But when you see the level, he talks about the level of resentment in which there's envy and all that stuff. You see someone doing well, and you feel that you need to be at their level, right? Especially if it was given to them, you know. And some people are lucky, you know, like some people just catch a break. There's people who are on YouTube that get viral videos out of nowhere, right? And I can't dog them down because for whatever reason they caught the right people, right? And so, okay, I'm just ranting all over the place now, and I think this was a good topic because it dissects what people think, and it goes into, like, even myself. I'm not gonna say I'm no expert and know nothing, right? I'm no AOC. But I mean, I can go into, at least have a conversation about it and look into more about this stuff. And so again, let me know what you guys think. What did she get right? What did she get wrong? And just have the conversation below. You can follow me on my Instagram at HeyMitchMitch. You can follow my joint Instagram at It's Mandatory Fun, where I do other videos with my friend Jen. I'm also on Parler, Mitch. And see you in the next video. Thanks for watching. Peace, peace, peace. Be with you.